good morning, everyone. Now, do me a quick favor and imagine of yourself standing under a beautiful and a grand tree. Its roots stretching deep into the core of the earth and its branches extending gracefully, much like fashion, which influences the human civilization and significantly impacting how we live and how we think. Fashion, a glance at a tree. Now, today we will explore this metaphor of a tree and look at how a tree is comparable to fashion. Fashion, like the roots of a tree, grows stronger in times of adversity. In political exile, cultural suppressions, fashion finds new soil to thrive in. For an example, think of Europe during the World Wars. Most of the great fashion designers had to flee their homes due to the difficult times they had to face. Designers such as Elsa Schiaparelli and also the House of Chanel had to weave their creativity through hardship, planting new roots in new areas, and also laying the foundation for what would later be called fashion's post-war renaissance. It's as if the roots of fashion wants to dig deeper in challenging times, drawing power, energy from the surrounding cultures. Now, let's look at Asia for a moment. In Asia, it also faced a colonial, where the countries like Japan and India were under tension and exile, where the local styles were overshadowed by foreign influences. For an example, in Japan, the kimono, once considered to be a traditional, just a traditional costume, is now considered a symbol for elegance, and also it's a Japanese symbol. Now, how did it undergo this revival? Actually, it was a combined effort of many different designers, such as Hanemori and Issey Miyake, combining traditional and skillful features with modern aesthetics. Okay, fashion and its tree trunk, the fashion's trunk, it is what actually shows how strong and how evolutionizing fashion is. For an example, think of China during its Cultural Revolution. It was in a difficult period. Actually, the costumes, such as traditional textiles, such as silk, brocades, cotton, and also handmade looms, were surviving barely. For an example, Chinese designers such as Mao Ke and Guo Pei merged the traditional and skillful elements of China with its rich history of silk making and embroidery with contemporary designs to build a much better fashion, a stronger fashion for China, conserving its elegance. Now let's look at India. Once in time, India faced a problem where its traditional hand-woven saris were in danger of being engulfed by mass production. Now the consequence of this was that the traditional local styles were endangered. In order to find a solution for this, the saris were globally renowned and found a place in the world that gave it the symbol for Indian heritage, pride, and resistance against cultures. Likewise, now we'll go to the branches of the fashion, the tree of fashion. This is what shows us how fashion spreads its style of influence, going through periods of such as the Chinese Revolution and also the African Ankara bold prints. These were actually important for the culture because it showed what they are unique at from the whole world. These also were only confined to local markets at some time, but then later on, this fashion found its way to international runways and developed into an international standard itself. Also, revolutionizing global fashion itself, taking a big leap into globalization. Furthermore, the leaves of the tree. Now, when we imagine leaves, that is what we see as the most significant part of the tree. Now, fashion, like trees, are the most important thing that when it comes to a situation. I mean, imagine yourself without a proper fashion. Would people be interested in you? No, right? Now remember, fashion, even though it faced so many difficult times, it never faded away. It faced many iterations of difficulty, but it never ever went away from the human civilization itself. Take the example of the 1960s mod fashion movement in Britain. This was beginning as a counterculture style affecting the mainstream of fashion and actually opposing it. But then later on, this blossomed into a fashion revolution, influencing global fashion itself. This shows how fashion can be so impactful for us. Now, what do you think is the exact definition of fashion? Anybody? Okay, actually, while I was researching for this speech, I noticed a great quote by a great designer, Coco Chanel. Fashion is not something that exists in dresses only. Fashion exists in the sky, in the street. Fashion is to do with ideas, the way we live in, and what is happening. I would rather say fashion is a pattern that influences what we see, wear, and do every day. Now, before we conclude, I would like to reflect on how fashion is like nature, evolving, spreading its influence, also taking influence of us and ideas, new ideas, and it's a unique way of looking at the world as well. Fashion, like nature, it takes us through survival, adaptation, and also a beautiful journey. Now, fashion, it's a bold thread in the tapestry of life that connects humans with other humans together, bridging connections itself and transcending languages and developing communication, also building the golden and global tapestry of life that interconnects tradition and innovation. Thank you.